Alright guys, we are back for the F1 Manager 2022 Williams Career Mode. It is episode 2. We're ready for race 2 and a lot has happened since the opening race of the season. If you can't remember what happened in the opening race, it was a great performance for Alexander Albon. He beat both Aston Martins on pace, finished ahead of Vettel and Stroll. I was so impressed with him. One guy I wasn't impressed with though was Nicholas Latifi. And when I mentioned at the start of the video, a lot has happened. One of the things I was speaking about was that Williams have decided they will not renew Latifi's contract in real life. And I was contemplating at the start of this season getting rid of Latifi maybe halfway through the season if he doesn't deliver. And I feel like this sort of like vindicates my decision to do so, because like the fact that Williams in real life have done it means that I was maybe right to suggest that. Now, I'm not saying I am going to get rid of Latifi. I am going to give him an opportunity. But based on what I've seen in the first race of the season, he just didn't seem to have the pace. He actually started really well. He moved up to like 16th. He made a couple of passes, but he went backwards and he didn't have the pace of Albon. And he wasn't able to help Albon in the battle against the Aston Martins. So, but that race is done and dusted. Bahrain's over with, right? We cannot look back in Bahrain. We have to look forward to Saudi Arabia. Now, we've got no upgrades to the cars. There's no real updates to anything. So we're just pretty much, I think everybody is going into the Saudi race in the same boat they were. And when they went into the Bahrain race, our boat isn't that good. It's just a wooden boat, really, at this stage. It's got some holes in it. Alexander Albon's trying to, seal those holes up, but Latifi is letting all the water and he's drinking the water like a donkey, whereas Alexander Albon's trying to keep the boat afloat. But let's get into week 2, man. Let's get into race 2 and see if we can deliver another performance. I don't know our expectations. If Albon can once again battle with Aston Martins and maybe even beat them, I would be delighted with that. And as for Latifi, he needs to get closer to Albon. He needs to be on a similar pace to Albon. And then maybe he will have a future at Williams after all. But I was looking at potential drivers that we could maybe bring in. And the only thing that might save Latifi is a lot of the drivers aren't interested. I was checking here, and all the good drivers pretty much don't really want to sign for Williams. It's that simple. Some of the drivers that we maybe could get for him just aren't that great. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, all these guys, they're just not interested. Look, negotiation attitude, not interested, not interested, not interested. Now, Jihan Darulfala is the guy that is most interested. He's got the highest rating, but I just don't know if we want to give him a chance. We are scouting Nico Hulkenberg, but even then, he says he's not interested. He's the current Aston Martin reserve driver. It looks like he would rather stay there than come to us. Nick de Vries is someone I would be interested in signing. He is 74 rated, 27 years old. He is the current Mercedes reserve driver. But again, he's not interested in negotiating. So the fact that a lot of these drivers aren't really bothered and do not seem to want to come to Williams might actually keep Latifi in a seat. But one guy I would be interested in signing is Mick Schumacher. His uncle, as we know, Ralph, raced for Williams. And I think it would be great if we could get the Schumacher name into a Williams car. So we will have a look at Hulkenberg. We will look at Nick de Vries. But if those two ain't interested, I think Mick Schumacher will be our go-to guy. But let's not count Latifi out. Let's get into the next race and let's see what the Canadian can do. It's a nice track. I do like the infrastructure of Saudi. I mean, I respect the way they built it, fair play, it looks lovely. But I'm just not a fan of these new tracks where it's pretty much all barriers. It all feels like street circuits to me. If there is a runoff area, the runoff area is just tarmac and it doesn't really punish you for making mistakes. Speaking of being punished, there's Latifi getting spoken to after the poor race in Bahrain. But yeah, I prefer the classic tracks with the grass, with the gravel. With that said, it's time to get into practice. Hopefully none of us stick it in the gravel, but there is no gravel, so we don't need to worry about that. But what I am worried about is Latifi potentially stick it in the barrier. Let's go. So practice 1 is over. Good session for Charles Leclerc and Ferrari. They top the timetables. But for Williams, we are down in 19th and 20th. I mean, not really surprised about that. Although we are pretty close. Albon only I mean, just beaten there by Stroll, nothing in that whatsoever. Unfortunately, though, we are 3 tenths behind Vettel, so bit of a gap between Vettel, and then Mick Schumacher in the next closest car is like a second in front of us. So, I mean, the Williams and Aston Martins really are off the pace here at the start of the season. Both cars need to improve big time. So we move into practice 2. Again, it's Charles Leclerc at the top, dominating from both Red Bulls. Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz back and forth. And then the next best car is Lewis Hamilton from Mercedes. But if we go lower down the grid, we can see there has been an improvement from Alexander Albon. We are now doing 133s, almost trying to get into the 132s. We're a tenth behind Vettel, less than a tenth behind Vettel, and we're about a tenth and a half in front of Stroll. Still, even Latifi though, if you look at Latifi's closed the gap on Stroll as well. So, I mean, that practice 2 went really, really well for us. Now, we've got 1 practice session left. We're going to try and improve the cars as much as possible. But looking at this data, it looks like we have a chance. It could really be a real battle between both Williams and both Aston Martins heading into qualifying. And Leclerc completes the hat-trick in practice 3. So 3 practice sessions done. Leclerc leads the way in all of them. It's looking really good for Charles. I mean, he must be confident of not only the pole, but a race win. And speaking of confidence, our confidence went up at Williams. Alexander Albon finishes P3 in front of both Aston Martins, Vettel and Stroll. Unfortunately for us though, Latifi looks like he's lost time. But who knows, maybe he'll find it going into quali. Set up confidence for Latifi's 82. Set up confidence for Alexander Albon is 98. Holy shit. No wonder Alexander Albon's doing such a good job. With that said though, it is time to get into quali. It is going to be dry. Of course it's going to be dry, man. We're in Saudi Arabia. It's a fucking desert. There's no water, man. Any water that we find, any rain in there has been drunk. Because everyone is like dying of thirst, they're all dehydrating. So with that said, let's just get into qualifying, and hopefully we can have an impressive Q1. Now, by an impressive Q1, I know we're not going to get out, but if we can beat the Aston Martins, then that would be absolutely fantastic. So let's go. And here we go then. Alexander Albon taken to the track for the first time in qualifying. Hopefully we have a good session. We go then, Alexander Albon, pretty good opening first sector, 33.7 for Albon. Alexander Latifi though, not Alexander Latifi, Nicholas Latifi, what is he going to do in comparison? Hopefully he can do a 33.7, hopefully he can match Albon. He can't, he does a 33.8, so already you can see Latifi then is trailing behind his teammate. I mean, there's not a lot in it, but we'll see what the sectors 2 times are looking like. So Albon does a 29.3. Looks like he's been held up here by the Alpine. That wasn't ideal there, so I don't think this is going to be a good lap for Alexander Albon. Definitely been held up. As for Latifi, as he's about to come through, it's 29.3. The Albon did, he does 29.4. So Latifi just constantly a little bit behind, and now Latifi coming up against the Ferrari. So both of our guys getting found in traffic here. Albon finishes, he puts in a 131.6. I can't see that being good enough to do anything in this session. We're currently last to everyone that has finished their lap. I mean, at 28.6 in sector 3 doesn't look like it's a good sector time. We will see what Latifi does. Latifi does a 32, so I mean Latifi trails Albon by 4 tenths after the first run. We'll go one more run obviously each, but it'll be interesting to see what position we're in once the Aston Martins run. Right, with 3 minutes to go then, so you can see Albon did beat Stroll, but we were slightly beat by Vettel there. Not a lot in it, about half a tenth, so we can still improve. Let's send them out, let's do one last run. Everyone's pretty much going for their last run at the moment, so yeah, let's join them on the track. Looks like there's going to be all 20 cars out on track at the same time, so I mean that this could be a mess, could be traffic. Here we go then. Albon is on his last lap. Latifi is on his last lap. Can we get any improvements? Obviously, Latifi has a lot to improve. He needs to find 2 tenths if he's going to catch Stroll. So we're going to need to see some green times in Sector 1. Probably need green times in every single sector from Latifi, if we're being honest. So Here we go then. He did a 33.8 last time. He did a 33.8 this time. I mean, it's not great. It is an improvement, but not much if we're being honest. Albon does a 33.7. Albon improves again, but it's just too marginal. We need to be improving by more than that. I can't see this being enough to get us ahead. Vettel is 0.134 ahead of Albon, but now we need to be making up more time than that. We really do. Right, let's see what Latifi can do in Sector 2. 29.3. I mean, it looks like Latifi is on a better lap time here, but I just don't think he's on a good enough lap time. Albon again does another green sector, but again, they're on improved lap times, but it's not improved by enough. Let's see what Latifi does then. Coming round this final corner. He is probably going to get a slipstream off whoever that is in front, but it's not going to be enough. And yeah, Latifi, like I said, comes home. But what about Albon? Here he goes across the line. Albon, can he improve? Oh, he improves his lap time, but he doesn't beat Vettel. So very close there. You know, he got it. It was very close between Albon and Vettel in the end, but Vettel will just beat out Albon, and Sebastian will start this race in 17th place. And it looks like Mick Schumacher's going to be the other unlucky guy to join us. I think he might still... Is he still on a flying lap? I'm not too sure if Mick Schumacher's still got... I don't think he's finished his lap yet. But everyone's going slow, so I'm going to assume that Mick's just kind of cancelled it. And yeah, there you go. That'll be the drivers eliminated. Latifi, Stroll, Albon, Vettel, and Haas's Mick Schumacher. And with that said, guys, we're now into Sunday. It is time for the race. Qualifying's good and all that stuff, but the race is where it really matters. So hopefully we've saved our best performances of the weekend for right now. You can see Gasly talking with his team, going over last minute strategies perhaps. We'll find out who qualified where, but we do know that both our cars will be starting towards the back. Albon in 18th, Latifi in 20th. And it'll be interesting to see if we can take it to the Aston Martin. So I think Albon can. Whether Latifi can up his game and, you know, get involved, that is the question I think that needs to be asked. So here we go then. The lights are about to go out. Someone's waving a green flag in the background. Here we go. The safety car is watching all the action, and we are off at the back. We've started on the medium tyre compound. Is it the correct decision? I don't know. Everyone else has got Stroll on softs. You've got Albon on mediums. I mean, everyone's waiting for... You got all sorts of tyres are being used. Mediums, hard seem to be the go-to tyres, but there is people on the softs, Magnussen and Stroll, and already it looks like Albon has been overtaken by the Aston Martin Stroll there. So it's not a good start, but we can still do okay here. So let's see the replay. Stroll overtaking Albon. Just, yeah, I mean, after turn 2. So it's the grip, the advantage of being on the soft tyre. It is faster. I was actually contemplating starting on the soft tyre because of the speed, the advantage it gives you. I think it's about half a second a lap quicker. And I was contemplating using it, but I just didn't want to use it and then be stuck behind, you know, people at the back of the grid who were on hard tyres. So I decided against it. I mean, who knows? It's early days. Not going to panic. We can still obviously have a good race for here, but losing that position early on isn't exactly ideal. Maybe we'll conserve our tyres a little bit, conserve the fuel, try and build some fuel up at this early stage, and maybe go light on the tyres too. Same for Latifi. I think we'll tell Latifi to conserve fuel and go light on tyres. We should be able to hang on to the rest of the pack without really pushing it at the opening. So we'll see if that's the case or not. What are we at the moment? We're 6 tenths off, so not a huge amount behind. Leclerc leads the way, so I think Leclerc did get pole, and he deserved it. You know, he did really good qualifying. In practice, he was, you know, everywhere. So I mean, yeah, Charles Leclerc, I'm not surprised he is there. But here we go then. Albon, he needs to try and speed up a wee bit. 8 tenths now behind Stroll in front. Hopefully he can hang on now, get into the slipstream here. We're now a second off Stroll, so maybe we don't want to conserve too much fuel. I was hoping we could hang on to the back of these guys, but That might not be the case. Although, going through the corners, it looks like we should be making up some time. You've got Stroll and Vettel battling with each other. Stroll on the soft tyres probably should be allowed past, but obviously Vettel's not going to just let his teammate go through, is he? But we'll see what we can do. We're going to conserve the tyres. I mean, there is a good chance of a safety car here, obviously, with the walls and stuff like that, the barriers. So I feel like if we go long, we can play ourselves into a good opportunity. You know, there will be chances for us, I think, later in this race. But we're now we're very early here. We're falling quickly off the back of Stroll, off the back of Vettel, which is a slight concern. I mean, Latifi is sticking with Albon, which is good news, but yeah, now 1.7 seconds off his Stroll. I think we're just going to go balanced now and go standard, because I think we are falling, you know, too much off. Yeah, I did get it. I wanted to save up fuel for us later in the race, but I don't want to fall too far behind the guys in front, so we are going to change this. Maybe that was a mistake I made, and we can hopefully get back into it. You can see, got Latifi there, chasing down his teammate, and we'll just try and bring that gap then down to the gap between Albon and Stroll is currently 1.6. Hopefully we can bring it down, get it closer. But yeah, that's us then going on to the home straight. Okay, let's go back to Albon, and we'll speed up then. But I imagine with them battling in front, we should be able to catch up relatively quickly, but we'll see. Currently stands at 1.8 seconds. Okay, we're into lap 5 now, and we're now 3 seconds off of Vettel, man. We just do not seem to have the pace in the race. I don't understand it. Albon looked good in qualifying, but the race has been a completely different story. Latifi's been all over Albon. I don't know if we should allow him through. It could just be Latifi's holding on due to the slipstream. I mean, the last thing I want to do is let Latifi through, and then it's just Albon, you know, hanging on to the back of Latifi. So I don't know at the moment, but it's Latifi's getting dragged by Albon, but Albon's not going anywhere. Albon is like 3.2 seconds now off of Vettel on lap 5, so we'll speed it up a bit. There's not a lot we can do here. I think Latifi might make the move here. He does, so Latifi actually gets past Albon, and he makes that overtake. So it'll be interesting to see what Latifi can do from here. I think maybe let's see if we're going to try and get Latifi to push. We'll see if Latifi's got any sort of pace. Albon now 3 times off Latifi. Latifi is now falling 4.6. Man, we're a long way. We're about to fall 5 seconds now behind Stroll. We will be soon. Latifi though seems to be bringing it back a bit. We're not really doing much at the moment, but there's no DRS there. So I mean, the ERS is currently in neutral. We could deploy some of that if we wanted Latifi to catch up. Maybe that's what I think. Latifi's DRS is actually broken, which is not good. Okay, it's fixed again, but he's dropped into 20th place. So yeah, now his DRS is broken again. So Latifi definitely having some issues here. Right, we're going to go balanced. We're going to go standard. Maybe we'll push with Albon a bit since his DRS is actually working, or at least it was working there. It looks like it's not working again. Right, we're back. So we've got Stroll in the pit. So Stroll's had the pit already. I guess that's the disadvantage of going on the soft tyres. It didn't last that long. Magnussen's pit as well. His tyres didn't get that long. So Stroll and Magnussen have both put on the hard compound tyres. Not too good for them. As for us, we're still battling each other, which is not ideal at all. Let's see if we can get Albon to... See if we can overtake here. We'll get Albon to try and push forward a bit. See if we can at least get a little bit in front of Latifi. And just open up a bit of space. I just don't want both my drivers battling. I mean, it certainly doesn't make any sense. But at the moment, they are battling. So, again, Latifi's in front. I think we will go back to neutral. Should probably tell them not to fight, but I don't want to do that. I want them to go at it. I want them to, you know, have the same opportunities. Meanwhile, at the front, Verstappen leads from Leclerc, and but everyone's pretty much off the soft tyres now, so we're all on either mediums or hards. If you look at the last laps, we're doing 39s, even Vettel's doing a 38. So yeah, we're just there. You go. Looks like that Sainz in the pits there. Where's he going to come out? Carlos Sainz, is he going to beat Russell? I think he might. Did he? I think he did. He did there. So Sainz does beat Russell. That was important. He got Alonso, Ocon, Bottas, Guang Su. A lot of these. I mean, there's a lot of these guys that are going for the points here, and they're kind of all banged up against each other. But Latifi. Now let's look at Latifi here. He's still in the back of Albon. Albon now 5.8 behind Vettel. Can we get Albon closer to Vettel? That's what I'm trying to think here. Fuel-wise, we're pushing a lot of fuel, and it's not really having a desired effect at the moment. Latifi, though, has made a mistake, and that is not good. And how bad is the mistake? It's bad enough. He's ran wide. We'll see the lockup on the replay. Is it going to cost him a lot of time? He's coming around the corner. Oh, it's not great. Oh, and he stopped the cars. Ah, man, Latifi's lost a lot of time there. I mean, it gets Albon clear air, I guess. Albon now doesn't need to battle anyone, but that's not good for Latifi there. The mechanics not happy. Look at them all panicking. They can't believe it. I can't believe it. Albon really has kind of messed that one up for us. Not great there. But we'll see if Albon can do something. We'll keep an eye on the gap. Albon still 5.9 seconds behind Vettel. Seems to be stuck around that now. Doesn't seem to be changing much. But look at the last lap. Albon was actually 3 times quicker than Vettel. So looks like we are doing something right at the moment. But yeah, you can just tell looking at the map, man. The Aston Martins, the Williams, they are in a league of their own, unfortunately, at the back. It's just, they're not very quick, if we're being honest with ourselves. So we will see. Latifi's got some fuel that we could use if we want to, but there's been a yellow flag out. I think it's gone now. I don't think anything major happened. Stroll locked up, which is good for us. Obviously we're battling Stroll and Vettel, and yeah, Stroll just locks up there, loses himself some time. It's not ideal, but we'll take that. You know, it gets us further ahead. So, and I can't do his tyres any good either. So Vettel's in the pits. Sebastian then does pit. He's out now on the hard tyres. He is going to be chasing down Latifi, but when he gets to Latifi, we want Latifi to defend, and I'm hoping Latifi will be able to defend him. He should be able to defend. How far is it? Yeah, so Vettel then 2 seconds. 2 seconds is the gap. We're going to save all our ERS. We'll pretty much just save all this until he gets close enough, and then we're going to go light on the tyres until he gets there, and then we'll just defend like crazy. As for Albon, it's probably time here to start pushing. The current gap now between Latifi and Vettel, what is it? It's 1.1, right? Okay, so let's get Latifi. Let's tell Latifi to go standard fuel. We can afford the push, but we're just going to go balance. Let's defend. We want to defend, so please defend Latifi like your life depends on it. As for Albon, let's get Albon to... We're going to get Albon to push a bit, go aggressive, and we may as well deploy some ERS here while we're at it. So here we go then, Latifi versus Sebastian Vettel. Here we go, the battle we've all been waiting for. Can Latifi hold him back? Come on, Latifi. We know you've got it. We know you can do it. Big Latifi. Oh, still in front of Sebastian. Oh, Sebastian, I think was thinking about a move there, but Latifi blocked them off. Latifi not having this. Latifi's like, look, you're staying behind me, Vettel. And Vettel going to go down the inside, but Latifi again continues to defend. And Latifi is doing a good job here, and it's allowing Albon to pull slightly ahead. So this is good teamwork from the Williams boys. Latifi again now blocking off Vettel. Vettel's going to maybe look to go down. No, he doesn't. He's going to stick behind him, so it looks like Vettel's going to try and get a good launch here onto the straight, but Latifi does have ERS. We have got that in defend mode, and we should have hopefully enough to keep ourselves in front of Sebastian. Sebastian's got that DRS open, but look at that, it's not enough down the straight. And Latifi stays ahead. Brilliant stuff there from the Canadian, and you know what? Maybe that is good. Maybe that's good manoeuvring. That's a good manoeuvre there for Latifi. We need to take that in consideration with the guy's contract, because that was a really good defending that we've seen there from the man. So I'm happy with that. Oh no, it looks like this time Confetti will get past. He has. He went down the inside, so I think we'll just give that up then. Yeah, Vettel makes the move. He gets past Latifi. It was a good battle while it lasted. But yeah, we are behind Vettel now, and there's really no point pushing it. I don't think we're going to be able to hold on to him. I mean, we will see the replay here of Vettel making the overtake. Pretty simple for Sebastian there. 4-time world champion against a guy that will never win a race. So yeah, good move from Vettel. Moves him up position, and now Vettel will look to chase down Alexander Albon. But there's a yellow flag out in Sector 1. Another car's ran wide. Not quite sure who it was. I think it's Magnussen. Let's see what Magnussen does then. K-Mag. It's a similar mistake to the rest of the grid there. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys seem to be making that error. You'd expect more from these professionals, but not really have it at the moment, do they? And he doesn't look too happy. He's gone over to check the computers, make sure they're still working, make sure everything's alright. I think we're going to bring in Latifi here. I mean, I was trying to maybe put him onto the softs, but yeah, he needs to pit now, so we will bring in Latifi in. Yeah, the softs go 18 laps, but yeah, it's just not enough. The hard tires will definitely get you to the end, so we're just going to stick. Yeah, we're gonna stick Latifi on the hards, and it'll be as simple as that. Also got Albon complaining about the mediums as well, so I think we'll bring Albon on next lap. Bring Latifi in this lap, Albon on next lap, and I mean, that should do us. We'll just go hards to the end, one stopper. I mean, if there's a safety car or something like that, then who knows, maybe we will look at reacting, but as things stand at the moment, there's not much really to do. I mean, if we are going to come out behind the Aston Martins, Stroll might pit again. I don't think Vettel's on a 2-stopper, but I think Stroll definitely is, so we'll see. There goes Latifi into the pit box. Hopefully get a good stop. Is it going to... Yes, tyres off, tyres on. 2.7, it's not bad. And then we will bring in Alexander Albon on this lap. And we'll just put the hard tyres on him. Says Albon can get the softs 21 laps. So, yeah, but he is quite a bit. We would need to manage... Oh, I don't know. Do we try something different here with Albon? Depends what his tyres are like at the moment. What is his tyres like? Because see, I was going to bring him in. His tyres are 23%. What if we conserve them? I mean, we'll try this. No, we won't. We'll play it safe. We'll play it safe. If I was going to go on to the softs, I should have been conserving the tyres a lot earlier. So we'll leave them on it. We'll let them attack those tyres because we're going to get them off. And yeah, I mean, maybe we could have went on to the softs, but that's something we would have had to have had in mind a lot earlier. So you can't really, come up with that plan now when these tyres are absolutely shot. So yeah, we'll make this stop here for Albon. Hopefully he gets in and out without much problem. Vettel now is 5.8 behind, so yeah, we'll just keep a wee eye in that gap. It's going to come down obviously, but Albon will now come into the pits, and it's just a good stop. We need a good stop. 2.8, slightly slower than Latifi, but it's okay. It's not bad. And Albon then will rejoin ahead of Latifi. 9.1 seconds to be exact, and he's 5.7 behind Stroll. But like I said, Stroll will be pitting again, so we'll see what happens now. We'll see. I mean, we can afford to go hard on these tyres as well, so that's another thing. We can definitely afford to push these tyres. So we will push for a while, and then we'll look at the race here. We'll look at the bigger picture, and we'll see what we can do. As we approach the end of the race, but we're halfway at the moment. I think we can beat Stroll. At least Albon, I think, will beat Stroll. Even if Stroll didn't pit, I would expect Albon to catch up with him on the fresher tyres and be able to make a move. But look behind Albon, he's got 3 cars battling. That's pretty insane. It's a train of 3, a Ferrari, a Red Bull, and another Ferrari there. So Albon, you can just see he's lost 2.8 seconds there, letting those guys pass. That's ridiculous amount of time. Don't get me wrong, Stroll will have to let them pass as well, so it's not like it's only us that is going to, lose out there. I mean, Stroll, sooner or later, when they catch him, they will have to, he will have to slow down, and we'll gain our time back. But, I mean, not ideal there, was it? when you think about it. So yeah, let's see. We're currently 7.3 behind Albon. Albon's 7.3 behind Stroll. 7.1 now Latifi. 6.7 behind Albon. Latifi's got a lot more fuel though, so I think we can afford to keep the fuel going. We'll keep the fuel on push for for Latifi. 6.5 now. Albon is beginning to bring the gap down to Stroll, and now you can see Stroll's letting these guys through, and he's letting them through one at a time, so this might actually even mess up Stroll more than it did us, and Stroll's still got one more to let pass, so I think Stroll has been hurt a lot more than we were here, unless the Ferrari gets past at the right part of the track. Yeah, so Stroll, the gap now is down to 3.7, that's not good for Lance Stroll. He will be absolutely raging. Speaking of not good, his tyres are 66%, and we will chase him down, and I think we will be on the back of Stroll, maybe in the next 5 laps. The current gap's 3.2. Let's see when we get to a bit lap 35. I think we will be on the back of Lance. So here we go then, Albon, we're on lap 34, a lap earlier than I predicted. We are all over at the back of Lance Stroll. We're looking for a way through. The gap is currently 2:10, so we've got a lot of ERS, so we are going to deploy this, we are going to push, and we are going to go attack on the tyres. So I would expect Albon to have Lance here, but we'll see. Lance will try and defend, he will try and do his best to keep Albon behind, but surely it's only a matter of time here before Alexander finds a way past Lance Stroll. It's Williams versus Aston Martin. These guys will be battling for 9th place in the Constructors, and every position could mean something. So let's see, can Albon find a way past? He's going to try it. He's stuck in behind at the moment, so basically on his gearbox, and if we stay here heading into the straight, then I don't see how Stroll can keep us behind him. I really don't, but I would like to try and make the move before the straight. Albon's going down the inside. It looks like we're going to get it. We do get it. It's an easy enough move there for Alexander Albon, and yeah, that was good stuff there. Used up all our ERS, which wasn't ideal, but we got the move done. Happy with that, and we can just kind of settle into the race now. 10.2 seconds. We'll see the replay here from Alexander Albon. Like I said, simple enough move, just down the inside, getting it done before we get into the straight. Simple as that, and it's a Williams overtaking an Aston Martin, and you love to see it, don't you? You love to see it. It was a really good move there from Albon, so I'm impressed. We can now go a bit easier on the tyres, we can turn the fuel down a bit as well, and we are 10 seconds behind Vettel. Whether we will begin to catch him or not, I'm not too sure. As for Latifi, we'll get Latifi to start pushing again, get him to go aggressive on the tyres. Stroll, I imagine, will be pitting, so we'll just have to wait and see what Stroll does. Stroll does what Stroll does. Alexander Albon then, so yeah, you can see Alexander Albon doing green sectors. I assume Latifi might start doing green sectors as well. No, not really orange, so looks like Alexander Albon definitely at the moment is the faster Williams driver, and it's not the first time we will say that, so I'll probably get sick of saying that. Let's see if we can bring the gap then down to Vettel. I mean, we've currently got it just under 10 seconds, it's at 9.9, back up to 10, now it's down to 9.8. It's, you know, it's fluctuating at the moment, but whether or not we're going to be able to catch him, I don't know. We've got slightly better tyre wear, but it's going to be tough. We'll try our best, but we'll see. I don't know. I think Vettel might have too much for us in this race, but I think we should beat Stroll, especially with Stroll's tyre wear. It's not looking too good for him. And again, now we're having to let another Red Bull pass, as this one is Perez, I believe. So we've lost even more time out there. 11.2 seconds now behind Vettel. On now, Lance Stroll out of nowhere just decided to come back, and he's going to try. Well, I thought he was going to have a move, but he's went into the pits. There you go. I thought Lance Stroll was doing a two-stopper, and it's confirmed that he's doing a two-stopper. So Lance Stroll on lap 37 dives into the pits, and it looks like we're going to get both Williams ahead of Lance Stroll. But can we do anything about Sebastian? 7 laps to go in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Leclerc leads the way. He's been the best driver all weekend. He deserves to win this race. Verstappen is in second. Carlos Sainz is in third. It looks like that is going to be the podium. Perez is quite a long way off in 4th place. 19.7 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. But I've noticed Lance Stroll is beginning to make a bit of a move here on Latifi. The gap when he came out the pits was 9 seconds. He's got it down to 5.7. We will keep an eye on this. Albon's also got the gap down to Vettel to 6.6, but it's coming down a lot slower than the gap between Stroll and Latifi is. So with 7 laps to go, we'll keep an eye on both gaps, but I don't think there'll be any change. And if there is going to be a change, unfortunately, I think it could be Stroll on Latifi. It could be the two Canadians battling on the last lap. Lap 46 now, and Stroll has not wasted any time. He is on the back here of Nicholas Latifi. We're going to have to try and push.
Copy.
We're going to have to try and keep Stroll behind us. Whether it's going to work or not, I don't really know. Lance is on the medium compound. He is on a better tyre. Probably a fresher tyre at this stage it is. So, I mean, Lance Stroll here, he's in the faster car too. He's got all the advantages over Nicholas Latifi. So you would expect him to make the overtake. Latifi will try and hold on. We will give him ERS to defend with. We don't have much, but we'll give him what he's got.
Okay, 5 laps to go.
And we can just hopefully pray that Latifi can hold on. Now, we're about to be lapped by a car. That could help us out big time, and it has. So, that is actually... Now, the only thing is, we will lose time when we allow him through, but there's a lot of lap cars coming through, so this could play into the hands of Nicholas Latifi if he lets him through at the right time, and it's close. He's almost backed into Lance Stroll there, man. Nicholas Latifi, what a madman, and Stroll's backing off. So this is insane. Now there's a car between Latifi and a car between Stroll, and now Stroll's letting more guys through, and look how much time Stroll's lost. He's lost a shitload of time, 2.7 now the gap. Now the only problem is, 3 seconds, but the only problem is Stroll's going to gain all that back, because Latifi's going to have to let these people through as well, so... Oh no, this could play into Stroll's hands, to be fair. Let's go balance, let's go light on the tyres. We're going to have to let these people through, so there's no point pushing while we do that. And let this Alpha through without letting Stroll through. That's got to be the aim, right? We've managed to do that. Now we can go back onto the push and we can attack these tyres and hopefully have enough to keep Lance Stroll behind us.
Happy to push maximum.
Here we go. Lance Stroll will look for a way past. He's going to maybe go down the middle, but no. Latifi blocks it off. Good stuff. Now we go onto the straight. Is Latifi going to have the slipstream of the guys in front? They stay ahead. I think he might. So there you go. Latifi then holds on to the position for now. Stroll is right behind him, but this is close, guys. This is going to go right down to the wire. I don't see any more cars coming behind us. I mean, there is a McLaren, but it's quite a long way off. I don't think that will catch us before the end of the race. So we just need to keep going. We have got ERS, but we're going to just try and save it for now. We are attacking the tyres. We are high on fuel. And oh, we're still holding on, man. We are still holding on. I don't know how, but we're doing it. And now, oh no, Lance Stroll may have him. He may have him. He's got him. Lance Stroll makes the move. Yeah, Latifi just ran out of ERS there, and unfortunately, Stroll makes the move before we get to the pit straight. No real opportunity for Latifi to come back. I mean, we can see the replay, but it's a simple one. It's an easy one. Look at that, just down the inside, really. He's got the DRS open. He's probably on overtake on the ERS. He's got all the advantages and everything. Just, you know, happened to go well for Stroll there. And it was enough for him to make the overtake. So, he does it. Last lap, Charles Leclerc. Going to be no way back for Latifi though. We will try and, I know, keep the gap respectable. Keep it under a second maybe. If Lance Stroll makes a mistake, we'll try and pounce. But it's all over here. There's no way we're going to catch, so it just depends on, you know, how far we're going to finish behind. I think you could have seen this coming into the race. I'm not surprised that we've, you know, haven't beaten both Aston Martins. For us to beat both Aston Martins in Bahrain, that was some achievement. Let's not get carried away. You know, we did really, really well there. So this isn't, you know, a backward step at all. This is where we are, and we're still actually going to do a really good job here for Albon to finish 12 seconds ahead of Stroll, in my opinion. So we'll just quickly get to the end now. Leclerc's finished, he wins. Verstappen, if he signs. Latifi's making his way through. Mick Schumacher's through. Vettel will be the next one to cross the line. We've got Albon about to cross the line. There he goes. And then the last two cars to cross the line will be Stroll. Actually, no, it's going to be Norris. So Norris is going to be the last guy to officially do the racing lap across the line. And there you go, checkered flag, checkered flag. It's all over here in Saudi. We gave it our all, we tried, we raced hard for 50 laps, but in the end it just wasn't enough to beat both Aston Martins. Albon managed to beat one of them. Latifi did battle Stroll, and for a while it looked like he could have beat Stroll, but in the end it all falls down to the same thing for Latifi. He just doesn't really have the pace. I mean, Albon, even though he's in a slower car, you feel like Albon has got more ability to try and make up the deficit that the Williams has, whereas Latifi, he just doesn't really have it, guys. If we're being honest, he doesn't. No offence to the guy. It's only 2 races in, though. I'm not saying we're sacking him. He's going to get a chance. He's going to get an opportunity. I say I would give him at least 5 races, so you know he's still got another 60% of races to improve in. But just from what we've seen so far, it just doesn't look like he's going to do anything. But Charles Leclerc did something. He won the day. He got the fastest lap. 26 points for him. It's a great finish. There was no retirements, strange race, no DNFs, no nothing like that. No real incidents or crashes. A couple of people ran wide, but other than that, man, it was a boring, straightforward race. Charles Leclerc then makes sure he goes into the front of the standings. He's having a great season. You know, he's got 2 wins. So yeah, Charles Leclerc 2 wins and the fastest lap to boot. So Charles Leclerc is leading the way from Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. In terms of our Drivers' Championship, because we finished in 17th first, I believe that is why we're ahead of Vettel. So yeah, Albon's still in 17th. We'll see how long we can keep that going. And in the Constructors, we should be ahead. No, we're not actually, so I'm not too sure why that is. I think I do know why it is actually, because I'm pretty sure it's because of Latifi. I think it's because Latifi's finished last on both occasions, whereas we both have a 17th finish, but Aston Martin have 2 18th place finishes. So yeah, that's why. So that's what it is. I'm sure we'll battle back, and who knows, maybe we'll retake that 9th place in the next race. In terms of experience, though, we get 564 for Latifi, 631 for Albon, and nothing for Jack Aitken. Now, I could potentially bring Jack Aitken in, but he is a lot lower than Latifi, so it would seem like a downgrade in my opinion, bringing in Jack Aitken. So at the moment, we are going to stick with Latifi. And I mean, he was a bit unlucky there, I'm not going to lie. You know, at the start, he had more pace than Albon. Maybe if I allowed him through, his race might have played out differently. I don't know. We'll never know at this stage. But what I do know is, when the going gets tough, you know, Albon seems to stick in there, whereas Latifi seems to drop away. So, I don't know. Up next, it will be Australia, though. Is that a track that will suit our car? I'm hoping so. We will be trying to compete against the Aston Martins again. And I believe we might have some new scouting updates when we get to Australia. So we'll be keeping an eye on Nico Hulkenberg, keeping an eye on Nick de Vries, and maybe we'll be having some contract discussions. Who knows? But the board weren't too happy with the race result there. Fair enough. We'll bounce back, guys. I'm not too bothered about it. I know what we're capable of. We'll be back. It's as simple as that. Car development parts. We do have new parts coming, new upgrades coming, but they won't be available for 21 days, so they won't be here in time for Australia. Maybe for the next race, but for Australia, again, it's going to be no upgrade, so we're just going to take this same basic car, and hopefully Albon and Latifi can drive the wheels off it, and we can guarantee ourselves a good finish down under in Melbourne. Anyway, that is it for the F1 Manager 2022 career mode. We'll be back soon. We'll try not to leave such big gaps between uploads. Hopefully upload the series at least once a week. Hopefully you enjoy it, and if you enjoy it, if you leave likes, if you leave comments, I might even upload it twice a week. Who knows? Anyway guys, that's it. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.